We'll ask some few questions. Looking forward to hearing your story and what we can expect from a Stryper. So you guys are making a comeback.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've been trying to make a comeback for the last 4 years, actually, but you want to call it that? But
Great. Well, are you guys still playing the classic Stryper rock? Is there a lot of similarities from the tunes throughout?
Yeah. When you go see a Stryper show, you'll see songs from the old days as well as the newer stuff that we did. And as a matter of fact, we have the new stuff that we're doing is actually a little bit more retro sounding, like the old style. So you kind of get a combination of both.
That's great. Give us what are some of the things that you are changing up? Are you trying to bring in some new elements to what you guys do, or just kind of explain to us, talk to us about just some of the feel for Stryper?
Well, right now, I mean, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of our first album being released, so in a sense, what's going on is we're going for a part of our show being with the newer songs, using our bass player that is our newest bass player, and then the last half of the show is going to be with the old bass player that had left the band in 2004. We're going to go through and do all the old stuff with him, and so I really think, as far as getting a grip on it, I think there's it really boils down to there's a history with the band. We have the old music that a lot of people like, but we also have new music that we've written, and hopefully people will like that. But we also want to kind of touch on some of that with this new album that we have coming out, and as well as the maturity of songwriting and whatnot, that's going to come through as well. So I think it's going to be just a conglomerate of all the different time zones, and next thing you know, you got this nice package of Stryper that's going to probably be pleasing to all ages and people who love all different genres. So yeah.
That's great. Now I have to ask, because I'm a huge fan, are you guys coming back with the nice yellow striped leather outfits? Like, is that something that that you're busted out of the con?
Well, I think we were mostly known for wearing spandex from the 80s. Yeah.
Spandex, not leather. Sorry.
Yeah, spandex and Aquanet in the hair. Okay. Well, the misconception is all over the advertising. It's been said that we're going to have original costumes, and that's not true. Okay. We will have, though, outfits that we will come out and wear in the second half of the show, bringing out the old bass player and kind of retroing back into what it was during the day. So
great. Yeah. So there will be some of the old onstage persona.
Yes.
of Stryper.
Yes, absolutely. And you kind of see that even now with the new guy, because I think the new guy is more into wearing yellow and black stripes than the rest of the Sarge, because he kind of came out of that whole scene. But,
That's great. Now I have noticed that the band has went through some really hard things in the past year. Are these things affecting your songwriting and your art as a band, or how as a band are you kind of living through some of the most recent hard times as a band?
Well, I'd have to say it certainly has affected the way Michael Sweet writes and some of the things that he is passionate about writing. It's some of that's come through in his songs. I know for him, he just lost his wife and to cancer. And by the way, she was just a wonderful woman, and I spent quite a bit of time of my life with them and spending time with her. So it was very, very heartfelt that we lost her. But on the other hand, I think it's done a lot for Michael. It's kind of built his faith in ways that people wouldn't expect, and he's gone through some pretty radical changes of heart, and so we're seeing some really neat things happen with him in his life. I went through, in the last couple of years, I've kind of been recovering from a divorce, So that's been a real trauma for me, although I've learned a lot about myself and about my faith through all of that. And I know that there's things like that that I think more or less it's more about us and our character and how we're dealing with things, because music is one thing. You can always express feelings through music and stuff, but then you really have to go, at the end of the day, you got to go back and live your life. And if you don't have God at the center of your life, then it's a mess. we turn it into a mess real quick. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
yeah, definitely. Well, at Godbeat, we're really excited to see Stryper and to see the things you got coming. What can we expect from this new year from the band Stryper? What are the things you're the most excited about?
Well, we have a new album. It's coming out July 21st, and that's Murder by Pride is the name of the album. And definitely an album that has some of the greatest songwriting that I've heard come out of Michael Sweet in a long time. And I spent quite a bit of time working on my chops and my guitar playing. It's funny, I've got this really strange persona, or everybody's kind of tagged me with this thing of being one of the top guitar players, and I don't see that for some reason. But in order to live up to that, I've really had to sit down and just do my homework and do some, I call it woodshed. Me and my buddy Tony Palacios from Guardian. We just sit there. I sat there and worked as much as I could and spent a lot of time practicing and getting prepared for the album, so that I could do just a stellar performance. And I still think that I got a lot of work to do to kind of catch up. I put down the guitar for 13 years between 1992 and however 13 years is of that. I was working a normal job, but got back into it when Stryper reunited, and so my hope is that I can measure up to what everybody's saying I am, which is great. It's really nice that everybody thinks that way. But I'm really thinking that this year is going to be an awesome year. We're going to tour. They're saying about 50 cities around the country and some overseas dates, and I'm really excited about the touring. That's going to be awesome to be able to get out and do that again. The last tour we did was in 2005, and I was going through some hard times at that time. But right now, I'm getting married in June. I'm remarrying, which is really neat. And hi, Annie. and so there's a lot of really neat things to look forward to this year for all of us. Just the overall, the band is starting to be looked at again. That's a good thing. Hopefully we'll be able to touch some lives, and I think we will. Touch some hearts for Christ, and that's really what it's all about anyway.
Great. Well, this is Oz from Stryper, and we're at godbeat.com. Look for their new album, Murder by Pride.
Yes.
Thanks for coming out.
All right.